Hot Flashes and Cool Topics, a podcast for women in midlife and beyond. At Hot Flashes and Cool Topics, we talk about anything and everything to do with midlife. My name is Bridget.
And I'm Colleen.
And today we have the wonderful Tammy Townsend on. And you probably know Tammy Townsend from Queen Sugar. She is in season 6 on Queen Sugar. And she has been around for, well, she's
a
not
while.
old. She's been around for a while because she started when she was young. So she's not old by any means, but she looks fantastic. She has been in things. I think her first role was like Different Strokes. She had a role on episode of
and
Different
Strokes. She was a
teenager.
teenager.
Yes. And just kept going from there. She's been on Family Matters. I forgot to even ask her in the interview about Casey Undercover on the Disney Channel. She played Zendaya's mom on that show, which, okay, that might be fair. I'm trying to think how old that might be fair. Yeah, we talk about in the interview about how sometimes they'll have a middle-aged woman playing a mother of someone that's only 8 years younger than her or something. And that's insane. That one was fair. I think that one was fair. It's a cute show that was on the Disney Channel, but she was on Days of Our Lives, all kinds of things. And she also is a great singer. And we'll talk a little bit about that when we're doing the interview as well.
And she also coined the phrase Middle-Ageless, which we love because she is right in the prime time of her life. And she's really busy and living her best life and enjoying it and looking forward to the future. And Bridget and I just feel so lucky that we are now talking to so many people that are just happy to be at this stage of life. They're just enjoying their midlife. They're thrilled to come on shows that talk about it. They're not afraid. They're not shy. I think if we had done this podcast 10 years ago, it would have been much harder to get guests.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, absolutely. And people act like it's a curse that if they say the word, that's they act like middle-ageless or hot flashes or menopause is going to be something that's just ooh, but now they're not because of people like Tammy.
Exactly.
And, all the
unapologetically
aging.
Yes. Because it's a privilege, guys. Not everybody gets the privilege to get a little bit older, a little bit wiser. And so what do you want to do with it? And we talked to her all about that. Bridget and I are thoroughly enjoying our series on Revel about menopause and positive aging. So if you haven't checked that out, go to hellorevel.com. We have a new episode of the series every Tuesday of the month. So check that out. And you can also check it out on our website because we will have the link there as well. So let's get started with our conversation with Tammy. Welcome back to Hot Flashes and Cool Topics. Today we have on Tammy Townsend, who is a very busy actress in Hollywood. Welcome, Tammy.
Thank you. It's nice to be here with both of you.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us because we have a bunch of things that we want to talk to you about. First off, Queen Sugar, you are starting in the 6th season. Can you talk a little bit about that and the fact that I love that Ava is putting Black women directors or producers? Is it producers?
She's actually doing Women of Color.
Okay. So any woman so
yes,
and
with any kind of level of experience. So I was directed by a woman who did she had her very first directorial experience. So and she did great. She was supported and the cast was very understanding and accommodating. So it was fantastic for her and for me too to see that. Like Ava is like a movement.
That's so interesting. How do women get chosen to be one of the directors? For each episode, it's someone different.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all the ins and outs of how that goes, but I do know that sometimes it's word of mouth. She does interviews. One time, one of the young ladies that directed us, she actually was a PA, would like to do some directing, and Ava said, okay, get a little work under your belt, get a few independents under your belt, and then come back and see me and I'll put you on. And she did.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I have a child that was a film major, and just to even get a job as a PA is hard enough. And then somebody's going to give an opportunity to somebody just to move up, just to share and stronger together. That is really incredible.
Absolutely.
So with Queen Sugar, how did that role come about?
Well, I auditioned for it. It was funny because I was like on my way to another job that I was doing. I was flying the next day. And so I literally did the audition at like 3 o'clock in the morning and then went right from that to 5 o'clock flight. So it was like, I was so tired. And so I didn't hear anything from them for about maybe 4 or 5 days. And then all of a sudden my agent called me and was like, hey, you booked it and Ava wants to talk to you. And I'm like, what? So it happened so quickly, just like that. So she called me. She's like, look, we want to make you a part of the cast. Would you like to join? I was like, yeah, of course.
Let me think about that.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
How's it been? How's the experience been?
They really welcome me with open arms. They've been doing it for like 5 seasons. So it was like a very well-oiled machine. And here I come, the new girl in there. So they were so lovely to me and like I said, welcoming and kind of gave me the ins and outs of what to expect. And I just slipped right in and we just went off from there. So I feel like I'm part of the family now. I was always there from the beginning.
You have been in this business since 1985 when you were like just a teenager. Yeah, and it is so amazing. And your resume just keeps going. Like you'll see, and you're always working. And I know that a lot of people, actresses, that's tough to do. That's tough to keep going. Do you have any secrets to share with anybody how you keep doing that?
You know what? I had a few. There've been some. I know my resume looks like really, but there's been some times where it's been up and down, and But the longer you're in the business and the more people you make and network with, and even some of the smaller jobs or favors you do to people, they often had come back to me much later on and said, "Hey, I actually have a budget for something now, and I'd like you to be in it." So that's kind of how it's really been, just kind of, you help me, I help you. And eventually, I've been able to continue to work just through the relationships that I've had.
Okay. Yeah. Just like, I think that's never getting too big for your britches, maybe.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Never,
great.
ever know. I mean, I did a student film one time and just because I really loved the material and I wanted to help this person out. And, that was the person I was saying, they just came back and said, hey, I really want to pay you and I've got a great budget and come join us. I'm like, yeah. And I needed that work.
Yeah. That's great.
Hang it forward. There you go.
Yes.
You never know.
Right.
So like Bridget said, you started when you were 9 and I was listening to an interview that you did that you said you really didn't get your career started until about 18. So from 9 to 18, were you just because a lot of people think it's going to happen overnight and they think, oh, you're just an instant sensation, but you put the work in. So what was that like, kind of auditioning?
I don't know what it was, whatever that was between 9 and 18 that clicked. I just think it was like you just mentioned, me constantly getting myself in workshops and classes and doing, theater and constantly kind of getting, because there's a rhythm and a whole art to even auditioning. So all of that, thank God it only took me 9 years to get it. And I'm not still out here going like, what? You know what I mean? But all of those things kind of culminated into one thing and it just kind of clicked for me. But yeah, there's been people, Joe Pesci, he had like 99 rejects before he got like his big movie. And so you just never know how it's going to work. And there are some people that come in and they get like overnight success. That does happen, but it's maintaining because you haven't had that, like, you're not in the trenches every day working. Sometimes like, a lot of these child stars, they come in hot. And then after the cuteness wears away and now they're an adult, it's like, okay, now what? You know what I mean? So now you can't write on your cuteness. You actually have to have some skills, so it's a tricky business.
It is. And you are also on one of my favorite soap operas, Days of Our Lives.
Oh my God.
And that seems like some of the hardest work. Everybody I've ever talked to that has been on a soap opera says that is some hard work, but it's very rewarding. I mean, because it brings your name out, you're recognized, you get other roles. Was
Yeah.
was it really hard to be on a soap opera?
You're right. You're bringing up some really good points. It was because they give you, sometimes they give you your scripts the night before, or they do a lot of changes right before you're about to, shoot. And you got to be on it because they got a certain amount of time that's allotted for each scene, and they got to make their day. And there were a couple times I had a couple bad days, and I wasn't able to retain my lines, and I got basically taken to the principal's office and was like,
Oh my
I'm gonna need you to
gosh.
get it together. Yeah, it's like, you need to get it together. So, I didn't, you're either gonna fold or you're gonna rise to the occasion. And thank God I was able to rise to the occasion. But you're right, it is oftentimes grueling. So, and I know
Yeah.
friends that they've made careers out of it. I didn't want to, because that's a certain genre. And I was watching myself on the monitor one time after we shot a scene, and I was very dramatic. I mean, with the eyebrows and everything. And I thought, yeah, it might be time to leave now for me, because it's a style. It's a very stylized type of acting.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting that you say that, because having done soap operas, you've done ensemble casts, series, movies. Do you have to pivot in the way that you approach it and you act in it?
absolutely. Half-hour sitcoms, their whole rhythm and beat is different from an hour-long drama that I'm doing now. So yeah, you do often have to. And I'm thankful that I had the experience on Days of Our Lives, because that was another thing, another genre I can kind of use if I ever need it again. So yeah, you have to often do a lot of pivoting.
Well, I also found some of your singing.
Oh my God.
Yes, I love it. I said she should. I mean, I know you've had a hit single, but I'm like, why aren't we hearing more of her singing? I thought I'm a horrible singer, but I thought you had the most
you're
beautiful
not.
voice. Oh, I am. I am, Colleen.
That's a true friend right there. You are a true friend. You know what? I just the acting thing kind of took, and I just went with that. And then music has changed so much, and the music business is even harder and even more competitive. And you often, not to say that I'm afraid of competition, but it's just different. And that's how you see a lot of the musicians coming into the whole acting world. It's just, you know what I mean? The work is a little bit more steadier. It's off. It's just a little easier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about it coming out of retirement. It's just, I want to be strategic about it. But
Sure.
yes, thank you for reminding me again. So.
Yes. Well, you seem to be pretty busy too lately. So I can see why you were like, okay, I've got to wait for the time to happen if I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You can only do so many things.
That's right. Yeah.
Even as a midlife woman, we can only juggle so many. Stuck with You. That is a very complicated character. How are you enjoying that?
Well, the writer of the show and creator, Patricia Cuffy Jones, I've been working with her for a long time. So there really wasn't she knows me. And so it was almost like I wrote the character for myself. So she it was so easy for me to kind of jump in. There was really no preparation for me, in all honesty, because it was just, everything was right there on the page. So I just put on the suit and went. And if I had any questions or anything like that, which I didn't, so there really was no preparation. I know that's like really horrible to say, but when somebody is like, they get you, it's a blessing.
You had spoken, I was listening to an interview, and you had said that honestly, up until the last couple of years, you could count on your hands the number of women directors you have worked with. And that's across the board. Yeah. But now that you find that women of color of a certain age, this is kind of becoming a golden opportunity. Why do you think that?
I think because of the work that like Ava's doing, getting it out there, Oprah, I think that the whole like Me Too movement is helping. I feel like, and also the Oscar is So Black when that came out as well. I just think, and then also Black Lives Matter. I mean, all these social. I know we said we're kind of going to avoid these things.
No,
but
that's fine.
That's good.
okay,
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
All these like kind of like social things that are happening, and you know, civil rights awareness and all that kind of stuff is definitely spearheading all of this. So,
Yes.
and then also we can't forget our VP, our vice president.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the second, like, you know, most powerful person in the world is a woman, a Black woman. So
yeah. Yeah. And look at all the talent that we get to see, and look at all the entertainment, and look at everything that we get because of this movement.
yeah.
There's just so much more there. It's just good for everybody to just be exposed to this. So it's
Exactly.
wonderful.
It was
Exactly.
really cool. We interviewed Florence Larue, who's one of the original Fifth Dimension singers.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. And she's turning 80. I believe she said February.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're talking about creating new music. She has a one-woman show she's going on tour with. She was just highlighted in a documentary series about the 1969 Harlem concert. So it's creating your own opportunities and not stopping. And she was just such a source of energy, right, Bridget?
Yes. And she just wrote a book. So it was, yes. Yeah. We were talking to her about her book.
Just in case I forgot. She
But yeah, that's another thing she did. But it just really was, you know, something where she just never, she's like, I'm not done. I might be 80,
That's
but
so
I'm not
awesome.
finished. Yes.
That's awesome. That makes me look at my life like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh,
You know,
you're doing a lot.
8 years old.
You're doing a lot.
You're doing a lot.
You know,
Yeah.
but and also somebody I looked up to is Jane Fonda. I love this woman. Like,
Yes.
she looks, not only does she look amazing, but you know, she is just if you look at the span of her career and the things that she's done, you know, it's just like, I marvel at her, and she keeps going. And
Yes.
it's so important to see women like Florence and women like, you know, Jane, because they kind of set the stage for all of us. Like, you know, it's never too late until we are gone. If you have breath in your body, you can always create. And especially now that women are getting their due justice, you know, and we're creating our own stuff. We don't have to, we can rely on each other to continue to work, you know, and I'm loving this. I'm loving this, and I just pray that it stays, you know.
Well,
Yes.
the more women that get in positions of power, we can kind of hope that it stays the way it should, which is a forward momentum. And that's just so important. We talk a lot about the fact that, you know, on our show, we talk a lot about the fact that because women are living longer, the media doesn't know what to do with us. So it's like this blank slate, because we're not our grandmother's midlife anymore.
No.
And I have no desire to be my daughter's millennial life. So have you found that, how have you found the work as you get a little bit older and you're entering midlife? How has the work changed in Hollywood?
Well, it's picking up, but before the whole, you know, rah women, this whole movement, it was slowing down for me a bit. Now, I will say the upside is that the roles were better quality, but before the pandemic, like we do a lot of auditioning at home now, in our home studios. I would go out for auditions, and I would see women, and I'm not going to even mention their names, but they're famous women. And they're, you know, they're older than me, they're in their 60s. And I would be auditioning with them. And I thought to myself, okay, so after you turn 40, you just lump us all together. And that's disrespectful. And two, these women have proven themselves. They have great resumes. You know, they shouldn't be sitting here in an audition. You should offer them these roles. You know what I mean? Right. So come on. And I don't see that happening with men. And in fact, they would pair men, like, you know, 60-year-old men with like 30-year-old women. And it's like, come on, guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. First of all, we're aging better. I mean, we are. like you
True.
said, we are not our grandmothers. You know, we look good. You have like Jennifer Lopez, who just turned 52, and she's wearing a bikini and rocking it hard. We're not the same. So, you know what I mean?
Oh,
They don't,
yeah.
they really don't know where to put us. Even
No.
in marketing, they commercials and stock photos, they don't know where to put us. And it's such a fascinating time to see how they're changing the narrative and what they're going to do. But I even see on television shows that will show the mom, and the mom, there's no way she's the mother of this 30-year-old
Yep.
son, because she can't be more than 35.
Exactly.
I'm like, really? Did you not think maybe you should have picked an actress at least 40? At least
Exactly.
double
Yeah.
digits.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, like you said, at least 15 years older
Right,
than
exactly.
you're the person that's playing your child. Yes.
I absolutely agree with you. And these women have put in their work and their time, and they've been around, they have staying power, they've been around, they have an audience, people know who they are. And it's just like, you know, give it, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for, you know, that we continue to, you know, we have programs like this that raise awareness, and we have, you know, more people, more women in power that say, no, I want to see people that look like me and reflect me, you know.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
That is true. So we want to also talk, you have a production company, correct?
I do.
And you have just produced and directed a short film. Can you talk about that?
I did, and I co-wrote it with my writing partner Stephanie Beatty. It's called The Counselor, and it can be seen on All Black. All Black is like a live streaming company, and it is about an attorney, the attorney that his fiance goes missing, and so he is trying to figure out how he's going to, because he never married her, and he's trying to figure out how he can access legal papers and to try and find her. And so he runs up against the father who is hiding something. So yes.
Yeah. Which
That
sounds like it can
sounds-
happen. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That
And you're,
sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're also going to be in another Jenkins Family Christmas that Robin Gibbons directed.
Yes, she directed it.
Share
Nicole
what you
Cole.
can about that without giving away anything.
It's Christmas. We can-
It's
Right,
yeah, it's just
exactly.
about yes, it's about Christmas. Yeah.
Can you believe it? Oh my God.
I know,
This year
I
is
know.
like, where the heck?
Yes. Yeah.
So my character, she shows up unannounced, and let's just put it this way: she raises a lot of dust and hell between within the family, so they have to do a little bit of adjusting.
A pot
So
stir.
we'll put it
Yeah.
that way.
Just
Yeah.
like everybody's family has somebody like that in it. So yeah.
Yes,
Especially
That'll
during
be
the
interesting.
holidays.
Do you know when that's going to air or anything?
I don't have an air date yet.
Okay.
No, I don't. Yeah.
But
Okay.
it will be on BET.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and Kim Coles is also in it, right?
Yes, Kim Cole.
Yeah.
Because you started younger and you were in like Family Matters and things like that, do you ever run into people that you used to see or work with when you were 18, 19 and are still in the business now? And what's that like?
I actually did a few years ago. I did a guest spot on a show with Darius McQuarrie, who was one of the regulars on the show. He played Eddie Winslow on the show. And then Jaleel White, who is Urkel, he's still working. So occasionally I see him. It's nice to see, that we've kind of gone the distance because a lot of us haven't, some folks have just kind of been like, I'm done with it and went back home. So, because it's a tough business. It's not for punks. I tell people that all the time. It's not.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice.
And how did the pandemic play into that? Because it was already challenging to begin with, and now you can't go out and do it. You're trying to film a series when you're getting COVID tested all the time. How was that?
Well, we got tested once, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it didn't matter whether you were working or not. Wherever you were, you had to be tested. So, and then a few people got COVID. And so that would, shut down production for a little bit, or we have to adjust. So things that you thought that you were going to shoot next week, you were up the next day. So it's still a little weird. I mean, we're going to go into 2022 with this thing. So,
Yeah.
but what they were doing on Queen Sugar was they were doing like what they call bubbles. So whoever you had the majority of your scenes with, you would just shoot all of those scenes for the season. And then, so they could kind of contain it and have a little bit more control. And so
Wow.
That must have been difficult though, I guess in films they do that too, but that has to be challenging.
Well, I
yeah.
Oh, I just think of all the dialogue that you have to remember when you do something like that.
Yes.
Like,
Wait, where am I? Wait, what am I doing? Oh, that happened. Okay, wait. What? Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Just the different scenery. If you have to do one scene and then a different type. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as a woman in midlife, how do you maintain self-care? Because a lot of times women think it's selfish as we get older for self-care, and it's not. It's a time where we really earned it. It's a privilege and a right that we've earned. So what do you do for self-care?
You know what? It's so funny because I think most women who do think like that, they have kids. And so, you know what I mean? Because I don't have children, so I've always been doing self-care. It's just me. I've always exercised. I've always been aware of what I eat. And it's not because I'm just in this business and it's about the way you look. I literally need to exercise because one, it keeps my mental stability together. And then it also is for the protection of the general public out there.
Oh, that's great.
To going and flying, and it's just like, what am I doing? So I've always done that. I meditate, I pray a lot. I hike. I mean, any outdoor kind of activity, I'm constantly doing that and saying, these positive affirmations. It's just been a part of my lifestyle for years, and I've had to kick it up a notch when I turned, got in my middle age. I definitely had to turn it up.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's like the things that you did when you were just younger that always worked, all of a sudden they're not working like they used to. So you always have to pick up something else. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I laughed at the title of your, you guys'
podcast,
your show, because I remember the first time I had one and I was like, what the hell is this? And it just stopped me in my tracks. And I'm throwing my clothes off, and I'm standing in front of my air conditioning, stark naked. Like, what is going on?
You're still hot on the inside, so it's
like,
not
helping. I keep sweating. What's going on?
Exactly. It's like, what the hell is? You can't think. It's just like, oh my God.
And that's really hard when you're in acting and you have all this dialogue to remember. and then it just.
And you can't turn around and go, oh, I'm sorry, it's perimenopause. Because that's
exactly. Yeah. And then you're sweating profusely. It's so, oh my God.
And it's so interesting because it is something relatable to almost every woman. And yet nobody talks about it. Which
they don't. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Makes no sense. I mean, we have seen just in doing this show for 2 years, the change in the dialogue and the products that have come out in the last 2 years for women are amazing. But still, you say, oh, I do a podcast on, hot flashes and cool topics in midlife. And they're like, oh, what cool topics do you talk about?
You try saying that to men. Watch men's reactions when you say that to them. They're like, oh, they run. Yeah.
I know, it's so true. No, it's important that you get it out and you talk about it. My mother didn't talk to me about it. Right. She never mentioned anything. I didn't even know she suffered from it. And it wasn't until I was having one in front of her and you pull out your fan and she's like, oh, you're having hot flashes. I'm like, yes, why did you tell me? But they do have great products now that you can try, and and then they have the pellet, you know, that some women use. And it's just, I'm looking into all of that because I can't stand this crap.
Yeah.
Just be careful. Be careful with the pellets.
Yeah.
We had on one of the national or North American Menopause Society doctors, and she was like, the amount of testosterone they put in the pellets can be very dangerous to your health.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
she did. Because I actually did it before she came on. I had one thing of pellets.
Yeah.
And she said that the testosterone in it maybe doesn't, like go down as much as it should. And when you go to get your refill, she said it gets to the point where women who are transitioning to men, the levels are the same sometimes. And
You notice facial hair and
she got into detail about some of her exams on women and their lady parts. And I was like, they were getting to the size of, pretty big.
You just, all we're saying is be careful.
But that's just I didn't grow one of those things. But, but
she did one. You only had one treatment.
I only did one. I went back to my HRTs,
We're very grateful for the experts that come on here.
Oh, we are.
Yes.
I was like, oh
How would
gosh.
you know? Like, how would you
They
know?
didn't tell me that. Yeah, they didn't tell me that.
I have a girlfriend that was on it. She's 60. She was on it and she said it was amazing. It stopped working for her, which is the only reason why she wasn't able to. But she was on it for 2 years and she said the only thing, she was able to sleep better, her moods mellowed out. The only side effect was she was extra randy. If you know what I mean.
Yes, that's what they said.
Well, testosterone, yeah.
They said, and that is the case. Yeah, that is the case. And they they didn't mention anything about like the levels being that crazy. When I was reading, they gave me paperwork and everything. Yeah. And it was so weird. I had to sign something because it was like considered like, if you grow a penis, no, it didn't say that, but no, I didn't sign that. But I said, I had to sign something about like driving with this, or it was really weird. It was
and that's
weird.
A lot of women get a boost of energy from it, and that's why they love it so much, because they get charged. And obviously your friend had a very good doctor because they didn't increase the dose. Yeah. But there are doctors and pharmaceutical companies out there that will increase your dose to the level where it actually can be very dangerous to your health.
Okay.
So
do your research.
Do your research. Yeah, it actually it can increase blood pressure too. That's what my doctor told me that as well, because I was on the testosterone cream then, and she said, "Oh, that can increase blood pressure," and I was like, "Oh, come on, give us a break."
Bridget's our tester.
I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah, she tests everything.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. She's had her Botox taped, and we've put that up online. I mean, she's fine with any of it. She's like, I'll do it.
I won't do the exam. I won't do the exam. I won't do it.
Isn't this exciting that we have choices now? It's not like how our mom and our grandmother and our great grandmother, like they didn't have any choices. We have stuff that, okay, that doesn't work for us. Let me try the next thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is great.
Exactly. And that we're talking about it. Mm-hmm. What would you like to see next in this chapter of life for you? Where would you like to see your career go, your personal life go? What's next for you?
You know what I would like? I would really like to do a movie like Lara Croft, like an action movie.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yes. I want.
She could be Hot Flash. That's a character. I can see it now. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see like any middle. I would love it to be me, but a middle-aged woman who is like a badass, and just is like jumping and doing all her stunts and all that kind of stuff. I would love to do that. So
I think that would be great. I'd love to see it. Yeah.
Maybe a travel show too. I think I could do that, and like maybe take the year and like travel around the world and get paid for it.
Yes. Oh, that'd be great.
You
I'd
might
love
want
to
to
see that.
contact like the Food Network or Travel Channel.
Yeah, but I
Like-
think that would be great because this is a time of life where a lot of women have the freedom, have more money that they could travel. And I'd love to see a midlife woman, living her best life, traveling, showing us where she goes and what she does. And I think that would be
Exactly.
fantastic. I love
Exactly.
it. Mhm.
Sign us up.
I've coined this whole this word as when we say middle age, I say Middle-Ageless because
Oh,
that's
I like
what we are
that.
now.
That might be the
I,
title. of
I
this
love
episode.
that middle
Yes.
age less. We've gotten
Less.
prime time women and middle. I love we get
Yes,
such
we
great
call
terms
we
from
call
our
all us
guests.
primetime women. 'Cause we-
Yes,
That's right.
middle age less. I love it.
Middle-Ageless. That's what we are.
I'll quote you on that. There we go. I'll write it down.
Give you
Yes.
credit for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for coming on. Guys, make sure to check out Stuck With You is in 2 seasons, right?
Yes, it's in 2 seasons. Exactly.
Mhm.
And Queen Sugar, you start on the 6th season. So you're
The
already
6th
ready.
season, yeah, we've been airing. So we're this week will be episode 3. And yes, my when I first came in, my character was raising hell, and I was actually getting dragged on social media a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
no.
where is she coming from? And then this last episode came in, and they said, "Oh, okay, I get it
Now
now."
it makes sense.
Exactly.
Oh, your poor character.
I
Oh, no. Oh, no.
People really need to understand the difference between your professional character and your personal.
And
Right?
yes.
They take it so personal. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
it's so funny.
Yeah, you gotta have thick skin. That's another thing in this business. Thick skin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do.
But that means you're doing a great job because people are invested. So I guess that's
Thank
how you have
you.
to
Right.
look at it, right? That they're
Right,
so
right.
invested that they don't like you.
Her character.
Yes.
We'll make that clear. Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm just saying they're so invested that
Yes.
they're emotionally attached in some ways. So that's the best
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly. I'll take it. I was so unbothered by it. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for coming on the show. We wish you the best of luck. And please
Thank
come
you.
back anytime. We would love to talk about your new projects as they come up. And have a great holiday season with the Jenkins family holiday.
Christmas. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
So-
you. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Continue on. Yeah.
We will. Thank you so
Rock
much.
on.
Middle-Ageless, here we come. Thank you so much, Tammy, for this awesome conversation. You are a woman on the move, and we just love talking to women about every time we get into a personal conversation about midlife, it's like we're all just sitting at a table chatting, and we love that. We open up, we're all have common hot flash symptoms and just common sequences in life that bring us to this point. So thank you for sharing and for all that you're doing to change the narrative in midlife and beyond. Wasn't that fun, Bridget?
Oh, that was fun. Yeah. It's like you get to this point, I'd never met her before, but then you're sitting down like you're sitting with somebody you've known your whole life. And because you have this thing in common that you're like, yes. And then it just all comes out. So it was wonderful talking to her today. And also don't forget to catch us on all of our social media, Instagram, some TikTok.
We're getting
and
there.
We're getting there. We're a Facebook group if you want to join our Facebook group.
So thanks again for listening, guys. We will talk to you next week. Take care.
Bye.